Ladies and gentlemen, this car is a cause for celebration. After more than 2 decades of pumping out lame and uninspired Priuses, Toyota, for some reason, has decided to step up and build what is, I believe, one of the best new cars on sale today. This 2023 Toyota Prius Prime SE. And what I am going to do for you today is review this vehicle. We're going to look at the styling, we're going to look at the hybrid powertrain and talk about the MPGe. We are going to measure out the cargo space, look at the passenger room, and look at the convenience features and the safety features. And as always, if some of that sounds good and some of it sounds boring, check the description below for timestamps. Now we're going to start by talking about the styling, which is ordinarily something that you wouldn't really want to touch on with Priuses, because in my opinion they range from boring looking to sort of weird and ugly previous to this. But from just about every angle, I think that this car looks good. It's taken the sort of egg shape that the hybrid drivetrain requires because of aerodynamics and has made it somehow very, very stylish. I like the back end, I like the front end, I like the wind cheating wheels, I like the silhouette, I like pretty much everything about this car. I think it looks fantastic. When I saw it for the first time last year at the LA Auto Show, I was very surprised at how nice it did look, and the production version in the flesh right here sitting in the disused parking lot of a Sears that went out of business looks fantastic. I commend Toyota. Thank you for making a nice looking Prius. They sell a ton of these things. I see them everywhere on the road where I am in Southern California. So it's very nice to know that I will be looking at some pretty cars for the next 2 or 3 decades running around on the streets. Now we're going to have a look under the hood and talk about the engine and the hybrid powertrain and power and MPGe on this new Prius. And the first thing you notice when you pop the hood is it says Hybrid Reborn Prius. And in my opinion, that is a very fitting moniker for this car. So first of all, this Toyota Prius Prime has 220 net horsepower from its 2-liter 4-cylinder engine and the electric motor, and it feels like every bit of that. This car is actually pretty fast, especially compared to other Priuses. The acceleration is surprising. It's really a fun car to drive, but you don't really pay a price for miles per gallon. In just standard hybrid mode, that's if you just drive it without charging it, Toyota says it will do 53 in the city, 51 on the highway, and 52 combined. However, it is rated up to 127 MPGe. Now, a word on MPGe. The E in MPGe stands for equivalent, not electric. So that 127 MPGe number, that is meant to be kind of for comparison shopping figures. You're probably not going to ever average 127 miles per gallon in a new Prius unless you plug it in and charge it all the time. Since this is a Prius Prime, you can plug it in, and in the real world, the more often you plug it in between trips, the more MPG you're going to get. Now, this car does have a 44-mile electric range, which is a pretty decent range. So if you have a relatively short commute to work and you have the ability to plug it in and charge it every night, it is possible that you would see 127 miles per gallon on the car because you'd be burning gasoline very, very rarely. But I think for most people, they're not going to quite get to that level. That depends on the use case. It should also be noted that the electric range is slightly higher on this one compared to the XSE and the XSE Premium model, maybe because of the smaller wheels or lighter weight, I'm not quite sure. All new Prius Primes have the eCVT, the electronic continuously variable transmission. It does its job very well for the hybrid. This is a very nice car to drive. It's quick, it's efficient. It really doesn't give you any room to complain about everything. It really is the Hybrid Reborn. Now we're going to measure out the cargo space in the new Prius. So let's open up the hatch and do just that. The length of the cargo area from the rear of the cargo area to the bottom of the back seat, 2 feet and 7 inches. The width of the cargo area at the rearmost portion, where it is the widest, from there all the way over to there, 4 feet and 6 inches. The width of the cargo area at its narrowest point, right there up against the back seats, 3 feet and 1 inch. The height of the cargo area at the kind of rear of the cargo area at its lowest point is 1 feet and 2 inches. And the height of the cargo area, sort of at its tallest point, right there to the floor, is 1 foot and 9 inches. And this is what the tonneau cover looks like when you remove it and fold it up. And the length of the cargo area from the rear of the cargo area with the second row seat folded flat is 5 feet and 2 inches approximately. I say approximately because that is the measurement to the back of that front seat, and it's kind of set in a mid-range position right now, so you could change that by a few inches one way or the other, but we'll call it 5'2". And you do have pretty much a flat load floor. You can push that little bit down, so very nice load space there in the new Prius. And if you need to lift something into your new Prius, you will need to lift it 2 feet and 7 inches off of the ground. And just for fun, right back here, we actually have the 12-volt battery for the car. They've mounted that in the rear on this one. And under here, we have some additional little storage in the styrofoam thing. That is the emergency air pump kit. We have a tow hook there. What is this? Oh, that's an emergency tire repair kit. So that is the cargo area in a new Prius Prime. Now we're gonna have a look at the passenger space on this new Prius, and for this test I use myself. I'm 6'5", so let's see if I can sit behind myself in a new Toyota Prius Prime. All right, so the answer to this question is almost. So if I sit in the front, I have enough knee room, I have enough headroom, I'm okay up here. I don't have a massive amount of excess space, and I almost fit in the back behind myself. Nah, my knees are up against the seat and my head is up against the ceiling at an angle. So if you're not a freakishly tall person like me, you'll be fine. We do have 2 USB-C ports and a household style power outlet under here. So that is a nice feature. I should have brought my laptop charger. That's cool. Now we're gonna come inside and have a look at the interior features on the Prius. And this is the SE Prius Prime, so it is a base model, and in some ways you can kind of tell. It does have some nice features. For example, it has a heated steering wheel. That's a really upscale feature for a base model car, but it does not have heated front seats. That is a strange omission. I think this might be the first car I've ever driven that had a heated steering wheel, but no heated seats. It has automatic high beams, so you can set it to turn the high beams on and off when you're driving at night, but it does not have automatic headlights. You have to turn the headlights on and off manually. That is a little bit of a strange thing. If you leave the headlights on, they'll just go off when you turn the ignition off. But you would think a car at this price point, even with inflation, would at least have auto on-off headlights. But it does have automatic windshield wipers. So no auto on-off headlights. We don't have a light sensor for the headlights, but we do have a rain sensor for the windshield wipers. That is very odd. Again, probably the first car I've ever driven that didn't have automatic headlights, but did have automatic windshield wipers. We do have a total of 6 USB-C ports in here to charge our devices. It should be noted there are no USB-A ports, so you might need to buy some new cables if you buy one of these things. We do have wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, so that is a nice feature. The rear view mirror is not automatic. You have to manually hit the little flippy tab to dim it out at night. We have a top mount multi-information display with a 7-inch LCD screen. That does look pretty cool. That's where your speedometer is, your information about your dynamic radar cruise control, safety settings. You can change certain things up there. I think that looks nice. The steering wheel does block it a little bit, but it's not really a problem. It's just kind of a minor quibble, let's say, but I think that that feature works well. The seats in this car are finished in cloth. It is a very nice cloth, but cloth nonetheless. And the driver's seat and passenger seat are both manual, again, reinforcing the idea that this is a base model Toyota Prius. my head is too big for this car. Now we're going to move on and talk about the safety features on this Prius. And all new Toyota Priuses, whether it's a Prime or not, do come standard with the Toyota Safety Sense 3.0. That is going to give us the pre-collision system with pedestrian detection, basically automatic braking. It'll warn you first if there's an obstacle in your way you're not reacting to, and if you don't react, the car can hit the brakes. We have the dynamic radar cruise control. We have the lane departure alert with steering assist, so again, it can beep at you and or correct your steering. The lane tracing assist to keep you centered in your lane. Road sign assist, it can read the speed limit signs and tell you what it is on the little screen. You have the aforementioned automatic high beams, and of course the proactive driving assist, which helps your Toyota slow down going into curves. If it thinks you're going a little too fast for a Toyota into a curve, that is the most Toyota-esque safety system ever. This car also comes with the blind spot monitoring and the rear cross traffic alert standard. There is one optional system that gives you parking sensors in the front and rear and also gives you front cross traffic alert. And according to Toyota's website, this option is $35? I find that very difficult to believe. I feel like that's some kind of typo, but there's a screenshot on the screen to show you. You can't even buy rubber floor mats for a new car for 35 bucks. So why you can get a parking assistance system and front cross traffic alert for $35, I do not understand, but that's what it says on the internet, so it has to be true. Thank you so much for watching my review on this 2023 Toyota Prius Prime. I am truly shocked at how good this car is. I'm a big fan of it. If you're looking for a fuel-efficient daily driver and you don't need a big car, I highly recommend it. Thanks again for watching my video. Please hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.